Welcome to Saturday afternoon baseball in beautiful Ann Arbor, Michigan. 53 degrees and sunny as the Michigan Wolverines play the second game of a three-game series against the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers right here on WCBN Sports. Glad to have you all with us today. My name is Jake Singer, right here alongside Sean Choi as we get you ready for some Big Ten baseball here on WCBN Sports. The Wolverines play their 5,000th career game here in program history, coming into the day on a 4-game win streak, taking the series finale against number 15th ranked Oregon last Sunday, and then had some 2 midweek wins over Akron and Oakland before having a 10-run run rule yesterday afternoon against the Mountaineers. And today the Wolverines will look to continue that streak here against the Mountaineers in beautiful sunny Ann Arbor, Michigan. Sean, it's so great to have you alongside with me. Talk us through what happened yesterday and what made the Wolverines so successful in that 7-inning win.
So first, we have to talk about David Lally Jr. throwing a 7-inning complete game shutout. The pitching helped get the win, along with batting ninth today, center fielder Greg Pace Jr. going 4 for 4 with 3 doubles and 3 RBIs, including driving in the walk-off mercy rule run.
That's fantastic. I mean, the Wolverines were so good yesterday behind David Lally Jr., Greg Pace Jr., two guys who have not necessarily been the forefront of the stars of this Michigan baseball team this season or even last season, but have really emerged as two big contenders. Greg Pace Jr. hadn't even started the first half of the season, and now he's become the everyday center fielder and has really taken that starting spot. Looking at today, Sean, the Wolverines are throwing out their ace, Kurt Barr, on the mound today for the Wolverines. He's been a consistent starter for the Wolverines all season long. He was on the team last year, too. He was a really big bullpen piece. Talk to me a little bit about what Kurt Barr can bring to the mound and what makes him so successful.
So the junior righty Kurt Barr, he's got a 3-2 win-loss record and a 5.14 ERA in 35 innings pitched. Gotten a lot of strikeouts, 45 punch-outs in 35 innings. The last outing, April 6th against Oregon, was a little rough. 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, and 6 earned runs, including 2 home runs. But Michigan was able to pull out the 12-11 win over them.
Yeah, Oregon, a really, really good program. One of the new faces in the Big Ten, and Kurt Barr, as well as all the pitchers, saw the consistent and powerful hitting from the Ducks last weekend. But you're right, Kurt Barr was able to stay strong in there. The Wolverines got a win over a ranked team, something that they have not been able to do much since the start of the season, and he was definitely a big part of that one as well. On the other side, Sean, the Mountaineers are throwing out one of their best pitchers this afternoon as Serene Sarr gets the nod, starting in 5 games, appearing in 7 this season. What have you seen from him so far this year, and what can Wolverine fans expect to see out of him today?
So he's been pitching like the ace of the staff, the lefty freshman in Mount St. Mary. He's got a 4-3 win-loss record and a 2.9 ERA in 40 1/3 innings pitched. He's really limited his walks and exceeded in striking out batters. Last time out over a week ago on April 4th against Ryder, in relief, he got the win. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Really working the strike zone, limiting free base runners.
Well, it'll be a really interesting pitching matchup today. These two studs going at it between these two teams as we first take a look at the Mount St. Mary's batting lineup today. Facing up against Kurt Barr, starting off will be Ty Frito, the third baseman. After him, it'll be Nick Fleming, the designated hitter. Behind him in the 3-hole today will be Sam Grube, the second baseman for the Mount. In the cleanup spot, Nolan Book, the shortstop, coming into the day, starting all 33 games. Behind him will be Jake Maskey, who will be starting in left field today, only getting his 8th start of the season. It'll be interesting to see him. After him, in the 6-hole, it'll be Matteo Zepparini, the right fielder who has been leading this team in home runs. We'll get to him a little bit later once he gets up to bat. After him, it'll be Kyle Cincinnati, the catcher, Bryce Rudisil, the first baseman, and Evan Smith, the center fielder, rounding out this lineup. Sean, looking at this 9-man lineup right now, who is one player for the Mount that really can get the hitting going and get that power to force them out over the Wolverines today?
So batting 6th today, the right fielder lefty Matteo Zeppieri. He's leading the team with 11 home runs while still maintaining a batting average high at 294. He's been batting 6th, but still got a team-leading 35 runs batted in. He's a real big power threat in the middle of this lineup that Mount St. Mary is hoping to get runners on base in front of him. That's
a really, really good scouting report today for Mateo, and they'll be facing Kurt Barr, the righty. Kurt Barr is not new to college baseball. He has been on the mound multiple times already this season for the Wolverines. Again, as Sean said, this will be his 10th appearance, 8th start of the season with that 5.14 ERA. And he's had some starts that have been very, very good, and others, as you just said, against Oregon last weekend, that have been a little rocky. What does Kurt Barr need to do early in this game to try to get himself off to a good start?
I think he needs to just make sure to limit base runners and not allow home runs. His last time out, he allowed two long balls that really hurt him, along with 4 walks. If he can just find the strike zone and let his defense help him out and just keep the ball inside the park, he should be all right.
Could not have said it better myself. Again, the Wolverines have a lot of confidence coming to this one. Again, winning 10-0 in just 7 innings yesterday. It's part of the college baseball rule and non-conference play that you can have a run rule, winning by more than 10 runs after 7, 15 after 5, and the Wolverines have been on both sides of that run rule this season. But first, today, it's a new game, a new day, and we'll see what the Mount can do early on in this one. Ty Frito stepping up to the plate. Kurt Barr getting himself ready to go. We're just about to be underway here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. First pitch by Kurt Barr is swung and hit on third baseman Cole Caruso, making a great play all the way to first base. Nice pick, and with the play. Good play there by the first baseman, Joe Longo, and that's how we start this afternoon, folks. Cole Caruso to Joe Longo for out number 1.
That was a terrific play, picked just fair past the third base bag by the third baseman, and it's a great pick by first to get the batter out in time.
Cole Caruso showing why he mans the hot corner. First pitch to the number 2 hole. It's a strike. Nick Fleming, the senior DH, batting .328 this season, has 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, just 2 doubles and 1 triple. 0-1 to him, and he skies one really high. That should be playable for the second baseman, Mitch Voigt. He's calling everyone off. He's under it, and that's good for out number 2.
Great pitching so far by Barr, getting the strikes in early, not letting Mount St. Mary get any favorable counts against him, and gets a weak pop-up to second base.
Mitch Voigt, one of the best fielders on this Michigan team, calling that one off right away. Quick 2 outs, just 3 pitches for Kurt Barr to start this one. First pitch to Sam Grube is a strike. The freshman second baseman, and in .333 this season, starting all 31 games he has appeared in. Second pitch to Grube, little low for ball number 1. And you were saying, Sean, that Kurt Barr has to prohibit the opposing team from hitting home runs, but for me too, it's his first pitch strikes. All 3 hitters, he's thrown a first pitch strike, really giving him some confidence as Grube bounces one foul down the first base line to Longo. 1-2 the count to him, and just getting ahead of counts early on these Mount St. Mary's batters will not only give him confidence, but as you're seeing, he's been able to get through those first 2 batters in very limited pitches.
He's also got to make sure to keep the top 3 of the lineup off the base paths. Frito with 21 stolen bases, Fleming with 7 and only 9 attempts, and Sam Grube with 15 stolen bags. Don't want to let them get on.
Fourth pitch to Grube is outside ball 2. 2-2 the count. 2 outs here. Top of the first inning. Kurt Barr, payoff pitch, right down the middle. That's foul down the third baseline into the Wolverine bullpen.
Got saved a little bit there. Looked like he might have gone a little down the middle of the plate, but it was fouled off to left field. Just couldn't time him up.
Mount St. Mary's in their full baby blue uniforms today. Blue tops, blue pants with a nice yellow stripe down the side of the pants. Here's the pitch. That's bounced to Longo at first base. He's going to call Barr off. Taps on first base. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Kurt Barr and the Wolverines. Michigan up to bat next right here on WCBN Sports. Stay right there as we'll be right back. Welcome back here to Ann Arbor, Michigan, as the Wolverines will come up to bat for the first time. Top three in the Wolverines lineup today: Benny Casillas, A.J. Roush, Mitch Voigt. Falling behind them, it'll be the left fielder Colby Turner, then Cole Caruso, who we've already heard made in the hot corner today at third base. Jeter Ibarra is at DH today. He also plays some first base, but he's going to be the designated hitter today for the Wolverines. Joe Longo, the first baseman, who made a nice pick play there in the top of the first inning, followed by Noah Miller, the catcher, and Greg Pace Jr., the center fielder, who we had spoken about at the top of the broadcast. But Benny Casillas, the hottest hitter on this Michigan lineup, batting .422 this season, 26 RBIs, 11 doubles, 1 triple, will stand in the batter's box first for the Wolverines. Serene Sarr, the pitcher, first pitch high and outside, ball 1. Sean already mentioned Serene Sarr, a 2.83 ERA. He's 3-3 this season. This will be his 8th appearance, 6th start. Here's the 1-0, fouled off out of play, 1-1 to Benny Casillas.
Benny Casillas leading the team in on-base percentage as a leadoff man, getting on base over 52% of the time, really looking to get the run scoring going for the Wolverines.
That's why he's been in the leadoff spot, the senior shortstop. He's been so good. Here's the 1-1. Nice bending break ball in for strike number 2. Serene Sarr with the beautiful curve.
Michigan looks to make the starting pitcher uncomfortable, an entire lineup of righties apart from Jeter Ibarra.
Yeah, the lefty against the righty matchup, very favorable for the Wolverines. Here's the 1-2, way high and outside, ball 2, as Sarr upset with himself. Just releasing that ball a little too early.
Sarr is only a freshman, but already having a great start to his collegiate career, trying to build up his confidence early, getting the leadoff batter out.
Here's the 2-2. High and outside. Pops out of the catcher's mitt, Kyle Cincinnati. So it'll be a full count here to Benny Casillas. Casillas already this season having 23 walks compared to 15 strikeouts. Here's the full count. And Casillas rips one down the left field line. That'll be extra bases. Jake Maskey goes for it. Casillas rounds first, will stand up into second easily, and Benny Casillas has a leadoff double for the Wolverines, doing a little dance on second base.
Exactly what you want to see from your leadoff man. You want to see them get on base, but you want to see them put themselves into scoring position for the heart of the lineup.
And Benny Casillas already with multiple doubles in the season, adding to that total, and A.J. Roush, the senior right fielder, will look to bring him home here. 0 outs in the bottom of the first inning.
Only batting .222 so far, but trying to get an RBI on the board, trying to get a base hit anywhere.
And our lefty-righty matchup, as Sean mentioned, Casillas on second. Here's the pitch to Roush. He's going to look to bunt, places it down. Sarr fields it. He's going to throw to first easily for the out, but A.J. Roush does his job and gets Benny Casillas safely over to third base. Wolverines have a man on third, less than 2 outs, just 1, with Mitch Voigt coming to the plate.
The junior Mitch Voigt, also a righty, batting .379 on the season with a team-leading 38 RBIs, just trying to put a guy on third so even a sacrifice fly can bring him home.
Voigt leading the team in slugging percentage, .669, on base percentage of .512. He has just been killing opponent teams this season. Here's the first pitch to him, break ball in there for strike number 1. As you said, Mitch Voigt batting .379. He has just been so good. He's turning into one of the best draft prospects for this Michigan baseball team. They don't have many every single year, but they have a few, and the few they have definitely stood out compared to the rest. Mitch Voigt has been that guy since his freshman year. Here's the 0-1, fouls that one out of play. Ball number 1 to Voigt.
All-around player, Mitch Voigt. He's got a team-leading 10 stolen bases on 11 attempts. You don't want to let him reach first because that could put 2 men in scoring position for the middle of the order.
And Mitch Voigt just getting anything in the outfield should mean Benny Casillas coming home. Good speed. Here's a pitch. He gets that out of center field. Evan Smith will be under it. Tagging is Casillas. He bursts home to the plate and will be in standing. And the Wolverines take an early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
Great team batting going on. Only a base hit, but we produce a run here. Getting extra bases, a sacrifice hit to put a man on third and the sacrifice fly to center.
Colby Turner will be the next man up, the sophomore left fielder. No man on now, 1-0 Wolverines lead. Colby Turner batting .258 this season, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs. First pitch to him is outside, ball number 1. And Saar, who came in the day giving up very few runs, giving up an early one here in the first inning. That's what the Wolverines did yesterday, already piling on early here against the Mountaineers. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss, strike number 1 to Turner. Went up there really with the hot bat, swinging very hard. Came up without anything.
Might be thirsty for a home run here. No runners on, 2 outs, just wants to get something over the wall.
Next pitch to him, swing and a miss, strike number 2. Turner spending 1 year at San Diego State University, playing in 34 games last season with 122 at-bats. This season already playing in 29, just 93 at-bats, but definitely has become one of these guys in the outfield. Next pitch, he fouls off out of play, protecting 1-2 still to count to Turner.
Trying to keep that 2-strike approach. Took his 2 big cuts with 0 and 1 strikes and just trying to get a little contact on the baseball now.
Starting at left field today is the sophomore. Here's the 1-2 from Saar. Outside, ball 2. Saar really trying to find the command of his fastball. He's really been able to find the command of his breaking ball so far. That fastball, though, has been high and outside consistently here in the bottom of the first inning.
Colby Turner worked back into a 2-2 count.
2-2. Colby Turner pops one up. That's looking at a play. The catcher, Kyle Cincinnati, looks at it go. Hits off the roof out of play. Turner living to fight another day. Wolverines 1 hit so far. Benny Casillas with a leadoff double. Scoring him was a sac fly by Mitch Voigt, and A.J. Roush sacrifice bunt, getting him over. Wolverines playing small ball here so far in the bottom of the first inning. Turner the cleanup. Here's the 2-2 to him. And Turner skies one into center field. Should be playable for Evan Smith. He's under it, he catches it, and that's out number 3 here in the bottom of the first inning. Nonetheless, Wolverines leadoff double leads to an early run here, and Michigan will look to protect here in the top of the second inning. Kurt Barr back on the mound. Stay right there listening to WCBN Sports. Barr back on the mound here for the Wolverines. An easy 1-2-3 inning to start the game for him. And now he has a 1-run lead where he's able to protect. Leading off at the top of the second inning, shortstop Nolan Book. Book starting in all 33 games for the Mount this season, the freshman shortstop. Has a .317 batting average as the top 4 hitters on this Mount St. Mary's team have over a .300 batting average. First pitch to him, he swings on, chops to Cole Caruso, the third baseman, has a play to Joe Longo at first for out number 1, and Kurt Barr's low pitch count continues. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the second inning, just like he did in the first.
Just staying efficient, just attacking the strike zone, first pitch all the way, just wanting to make sure that no one has an easy at bat against him.
Very good start to the day for Barr. First pitch to the number 5 hole strike number 1, Jake Maskey, the senior left fielder.
It's important that he's been getting weak contact whenever they hit his first pitch. Otherwise, they face a 0-1 count.
Maskey looks down to lay down a bunt as it'll be foul. Nice play there by Noah Miller, the catcher, letting that bounce just foul before he touches it. So Maskey trying to lay down a bunt with an 0-1 count. Will have to walk all the way back to home plate. Now faces an 0-2 hole here with 1 out in the top of the second.
Very fortunate bounce there, as if it stayed fair, the batter runner would easily be there at first.
Senior batting 160 this season is Maskey, only starting in this is his 8th start this year, 16th appearance. This will be his 26th at bat. The 0-2 is a little outside for Barr, 1-2 to Maskey.
As Michigan stacked righty batters against the lefty pitcher, Mount St. Mary's gone the opposite way, trying to have him for the lefty advantage.
Here's the 1-2. Maskey on the ground to Longo at first. Nice play there by Longo, calling off Burr once again. Apologies, Barr. That's for out number 2.
Just getting weak ground balls and weak flies. That's what you want from a defense to help you out.
So the right fielder, Matteo Zeppieri, and leading this team with 11 home runs, stands up to the plate. Senior right fielder batting .294. Obviously showing that pop. Here's the first pitch to him, and he grounds one right to Longo. Longo making all 3 plays this inning for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Kurt Barr, and he walks off the mound very confidently. Very low pitch count at that as Mount St. Mary's attacking him early. Nonetheless, the Wolverine defense steps up right behind him. We'll be right back here in the bottom of the second. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Bottom of the second inning here as the Wolverines step up to the plate. Cole Caruso, the third baseman, one of the leaders on this team, will lead us off. Sean, what has he been doing recently?
Last weekend, he just had a massive game against Akron, notching his 200th career hit in a 3-for-4 game. Had another hit after that against Oakland. Hasn't had one against Mount St. Mary just yet.
Looking to get his first hit of the weekend here. First pitch from Saar. Just finds the inside corner, strike number 1. Serene Saar, pretty good in that first inning after giving up the leadoff double to Benny Casillas. He's able to kind of settle himself in. Here's the 0-1 to Caruso, and Caruso swinging a miss for strike number 2. Nice 87-mile-an-hour breaking ball. I believe that was a cutter of sorts because that really got Caruso swinging outwardly. Quickly ahead, 0-2 is Saar. Here's the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Saar's been able to get some swing and miss action after giving up the leadoff double. Honestly, great pitching. Got 3 outs, but the run scored last inning.
Caruso batting .306 this season. 9 home runs, 30 RBIs. Here's the 1-2. Just gets the inside piece of his bat to foul it off. 1-2 stays the count. Caruso with 8 doubles, 1 triple. And as you said, Sean, went hitless yesterday in the 10-run rule against Mount St. Mary's, but he had a very, very good midweek game against Akron, and he's been able to bounce his Batting average all the way up over 300. Here's the breaking ball, tucked into right center field, and that'll drop for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there for Cole Caruso, getting his first hit of the weekend. And with a leadoff single, Wolverines have one man on, no out.
Just pushed that the other way, and the center fielder, right fielder, and second baseman all just couldn't quite get to it.
Mateo Zeppieri was the closest to that one, just in the most perfect place right in between those three players, as you said, Sean. Jeter Ibarra will now step up to the plate. One of the only lefties in this lineup today at the DH spot, the senior. Batting .286 this season with 4 home runs. Man on first is Caruso. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball number 1 to Ibarra.
He's been racking up hits his last couple appearances. Just absolutely on fire whenever he's come out recently.
Ibarra playing 2 years at Washington. Played at Olin College for 2 years as well. Here's the breaking ball, bending in for a strike. Really nice curveball there from Saar. A little risky, too, with the lefty-lefty matchup. For Ibarra, looking like it's coming out his face, then bent right in for a strike.
This Michigan team has not really been big on stolen bases, so they want a base hit to move the runner over.
Here's the 1-1 to Ibarra. Instead, they're going to just keep Caruso at bay at first. Little throw over there to Bryce Rudisil, first baseman. So we'll restart here, 1-1 count. Again, my name is Jake Singer, alongside me, Sean Choi, listening to some WCBN Sports Big Ten baseball here. Here's the 1-1. Fastball in, lower inside corner for strike number 2. Serene Saar, the Mount St. Mary pitcher, gave up an early run in the first inning off of a Benny Casillas double. So far, though, he's trying to protect here with Cole Caruso on first base, 0 outs. Jeter Ibarra at the plate. Here's the 1-2. Caruso does run, and Ibarra is able to get it to the shortstop, Nolan Brook, who'll get the out at first. Nonetheless, the hit and run works. That would have easily been a double play ball if Caruso had not run. Ibarra just getting the inside part of his bat, forcing some weak contact, and Nolan Brook gets to Bryce Rudisil for out number 1. Cole Caruso standing on second.
That's a hard 90 feet by Cole Caruso to beat out the double play, and that puts a man in scoring position now. Infield shifted slightly to the left for the righty hitter.
Good hit and run situation there. Good job by Ibarra for getting some contact. First pitch swung on over the shortstop's head. Cole Caruso is being held at third base. The batter, Joe Longo, able to send that one over the shortstop Nolan Brook's head, and the Wolverines have corners with just 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
Not that many starts so far for Joe Longo. Getting a hit in his first at-bat must feel good for him.
Cole Caruso getting a little bit of a late jump, so he got held at third base. Joe Longo coming into first, already making some spectacular defensive plays early in this game, already with 4 putouts. Noah Miller, the freshman catcher, will step up to the plate. The 237 batter has no home runs, 6 RBIs, looking to add to that total. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Saar. Swing and a miss, strike number 1.
Looked like he was really trying to get that one to the outfield just to score a run, but couldn't cut on that one.
Noah Miller slowly becoming one of the everyday catchers on this team, making his 14th start, 21st appearance. 1 out, 0-1 the count. Quick pickoff to first base, keeping Joe Longo at bay. As you said, Sean, this Wolverine team doesn't like to steal a lot, but with that hit and run already taking place, and Serene Saar being a lefty on the mound for the Mount, definitely trying to keep that runner at first at bay. You don't want to increase the numbers of runners in scoring position. Going to look to bunt. Nice place bunt there by Noah Miller. That'll be an easy squeeze as Noah Miller tries to run it out, and he does at first. Noah Miller showing off the speed, and the Wolverines have runners on first and second. Squeeze bunt scores Cole Caruso, and the Wolverines take a 2-0 lead.
More small ball, just trying to score the man from third, and they succeed. Now another 2 runners on, just 1 out yet.
What a great bunt there by Noah Miller, the freshman catcher, getting it down the first base line. Really tough play for Serene Saar. The first baseman, Bryce Rudisil, had to come out and try to grab that ball, and the flip just wasn't there in time. Noah Miller with a really nice small ball play, Sean. And the Wolverines already in the first inning doing a sacrifice squeeze and a sacrifice fly to score the first run. Now put on the squeeze to score its second run of the game. 3 hits to 0 so far for the Wolverines. 2-0, the Wolverines lead. Greg Pace Jr. stepping up to the plate. First pitch to him, inside ball 1. Sean, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Greg Pace Jr. having a career day yesterday, 4 for 4 in the win against Mount St. Mary's, including knocking in the game run rule hit that scored the 10th run for the Wolverines in the 7th inning. Second pitch to him is on the ground to the shortstop. Potential for double play. First is good, and the second out is good as well as Greg Pace Jr. gets doubled up. Nonetheless, the Wolverines tack on another run here in the bottom of the 2nd inning and lead 2-0 as we enter the top of the 3rd. Kurt Barr back on the mound here for the Wolverines. Already with 2 perfect innings so far in this one. 6 up, 6 down. And he has a very low pitch count at that, too. First up he'll face here in the top of the 3rd will be Kyle Cincinnati, the catcher. Cincinnati making his 15th start of the season, starting in half of Mount St. Mary's games this year. 257 average, 9 hits, 4 RBIs, but does not have an extra base hit so far. We'll see what he can do here today. The righty-righty matchup. The senior comes in with a .491 on-base percentage, so while the hits have not always been there, he does have 14 walks. First pitch to Cincinnati, just a little high. Ball number 1 from Barr. Barr already facing top 6 batters. Here's the next pitch to him. Cincinnati swings and flies one foul into the parking lot of Ray Fisher Stadium.
Believe that ball 1 was the first non-first pitch strike that I've seen all day for him.
You would be correct, yeah. Something that we've mentioned in the first 2 innings. Here's the 1-1, little high, ball number 2. Kurt Barr has been very good so far today with those first pitch strikes. One of the key reasons he's been 6 up, 6 down, just at 15 pitches now. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be skied over the head of Mitch Voigt, and that'll be the first hit of the day for the Mountaineers as Kyle Cincinnati gets on first base with a leadoff single. He's very happy there on first base. First hit for the Mountain, first hit in a long time for Cincinnati.
As you've said, Cincinnati, not a super high batting average player, but his on-base skills are there, just trying to set up people to help score him in.
Good piece of hitting there. Really made some solid contact over the head of second baseman Mitch Voigt. Here's Bryce Rudisil, the first baseman. First pitch to him, right down the middle for strike number 1.
Third baseman playing a little in, worried about the sacrifice bunt.
Good point there, Sean. Rudisil, freshman, batting 190 this season, making all 32 starts for the Mount. Here's the 0-1. Nice breaking ball. Got a little piece of that was Bryce Rudisil. Nonetheless, it'll be an 0-2 count to him. Kurt Barr's fastball has been on point today. Now trying to showcase the slider. And that bent in really nicely for strike number 2. Rudisil has some pop in his game. 6 home runs this season. Man on first. takes a big lead. It'll be in the dirt as Noah Miller stops that right in front of him. 1-2 the count to Rudisil.
Third baseman shifted back after the 2 strikes, not worried about the sacrifice bunt anymore.
Not anymore, as double play is in play for the Wolverines. Shortstop Betty Casillas playing very close to second base. I mentioned Mount St. Mary's in their baby blues. The Wolverines are in their all-white uniforms today. Here's the 1-2 breaking ball for strike number 3. Gets a fan. Swing and the miss goes Bryce Rudisil. And another strikeout for Kurt Barr. Really, really nice piece of pitching right there for Barr, showcasing the fastball and then going with the breaking ball for strike number 3.
Barr, typically a great strikeout pitcher so far, but that's only his first of the ball game. Despite that, he's been efficient through his 3 innings so far.
That's why you have 23 pitches through 2 2/3 innings pitched. A lot of first pitch contact in those first 2 innings for the Mount. Really nice piece of pitching there for the first strike of the day as Kurt Barr throws back, keeping Cincinnati at bay. Joe Longo there just to play catch with his pitcher. Evan Smith, the 9-hole hitter, stepping up to the plate. Senior center fielder, batting .217 with 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Here's the pitch to him. Finds the inside corner for strike number 1.
Yet another first pitch strike to make the opposing batters uncomfortable in the batter's box.
Definitely. These Mount St. Mary's hitters going up swinging that time, taking a look at the pitch. Here's the 0-1, looking to place a bunt. That guy's really high, almost into our press box as a fan makes the catch. Always fun when there's an opportunity for Sean or I to make a catch here in the press box. We're positioned right behind home plate, just a little bit up past the seats in the stands. It's been one time, Sean, that I was able to catch a ball with the windows open today, again, because of how beautiful it is outside today. Just a beautiful sunny day. We got the windows open, sun's out, my sunglasses are on. Here's the 0-2. Strike number 3. Kurt Barr with another strikeout for the second out of the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Barr, and that gets a big applause from the crowd.
Just froze him there. Just had to look down and see strike 3.
So Kurt Barr going with the breaking ball for his first strikeout, fastball down the middle for his second as Ty Frito, the leadoff batter, steps back up to the plate. Frito's first plate appearance was short-lived as ground one to Cole Caruso at third, who made a nice play at third base and a nice pick at first by Joe Longo to start the game.
Kyle Cincinnati at first, yet to attempt a stolen base this season.
Nonetheless, Kurt Barr still looking him back. 2 pickoff moves already. Here's the first pitch to Frito inside, making Frito kind of jump out of the way. 1-0 to the sophomore third baseman.
Very heavy shift on the infield. 3 players playing to the left of the second base bag.
Yeah, I see that now. Definitely big shift. And you saw in that first plate appearance that he pulled one down the third base line. Here's the 1-0 to Frito. Runner goes. First stolen base attempt of the season. It is success for Kyle Cincinnati. Throw was off the money for Noah Miller as Mitch Voigt had to bend the other way to kind of catch that one. So Kyle Cincinnati successful in his first stolen base attempt of the year. Nonetheless, 2-0 count here to Ty Frito. Here's a 2-0. Swings one. That's going to be extra bases. That's going to score Cincinnati down the left field corners. Colby Turner. He's going to try the relay throw. There's a play potentially at second. No throw. And that will be an RBI double for the leadoff man, Ty Frito. And that cuts the Michigan lead to 1 as Mount St. Mary's gets 1 back here in the top of the third.
Interesting decision to send the catcher with 2 outs and a 1-0 count on the batter to steal second, but it absolutely works out for Mount St. Mary.
Definitely. Without that stolen base, who knows if Cincinnati could score from first. Nonetheless, it was a very easy play for Cincinnati to round third coming home. And the Wolverines lead 2-1 here in the top of the third. Nick Fleming up to bat. Skies one foul for the first pitch he sees. Ty Frito, a nice pull there. Colby Turner, nice relay throw. Could not do anything about it, though, with Frito's speed. 21 stolen base successes on 25 attempts this season, so definitely showing off the speed on the base paths. Here's a pitch to Fleming in the dirt for ball number 1.
Got the first pitch strike this time, but now the count's evened up. Frito, he fell behind 2-0 when he gave up that RBI double.
So Kurt Barr perfect through the first 2 innings so far in this 3rd inning. Done with a little bit as he has a pickoff throw behind. Safe is the call. You don't see a lot of true pickoff moves going to second base. There was a nice move there by Barr as Frito was able to slide back safely. Benny Casillas, the shortstop, is playing right behind him, staying in that position for Nick Fleming. Here's the 1-1 to Fleming. Swing and a miss, strike number 2. Nice 85-mile-an-hour changeup, getting Fleming to fan. Barr just looking to get out of this inning. Still only at 29 pitches, so he's right on target. ERA up to down to 5.02, I guess you could say. Here's the 1-2. Check swing. They say he didn't go. 2-2 as the fans are not happy about that one. Check swing. Ball was in the dirt. They say he did not go all the way around. And Nick Fleming lives to fight another pitch.
Fooled Fleming, but it did look like he did check the bat.
What does Kurt Barr do here? Pickoff move once again, a little high is the throw. Wolverines really trying to keep Ty Frito at bay on second base.
Ty Frito with 21 stolen bases on the season with great efficiency.
Very good efficiency at that. 14 walks, 23 strikeouts was Frito. Here's Fleming, the 3-22 batter, 0 for 1. Here's the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Strike number 3, Kurt Barr gets out of the inning. Gives up a run, doesn't give up any more, though. And the Wolverines preserve their 2-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Serene Sarr back on the mound for a 3rd inning of work for the Mount. The Wolverines will be back to the top of its lineup. Benny Casillas starting off the game with a leadoff double. Sean, take me through again that double and kind of that approach that you saw from Benny Casillas, which has made him just so consistent all season long.
Just a 3-2 count, staying disciplined, making the pitcher work, and then pulling one into that left field fence, and able to use his speed to get on. And he's been hot so far. He was 2 for 4 with 4 runs batted in yesterday, and he's already got a double and a run score tonight.
Big reason why the Wolverines have their 2-1 lead here going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Sarr up to 31 pitches, so he's right on pace with a 3.16 ERA so far through 2. First pitch to Casillas is low and inside, ball 1.
So far, no walks on either side in this ballgame.
Very interesting, especially for these two teams, especially the Wolverines. Very walk-heavy team. But you've seen consistently, especially even yesterday with David Lally Jr., as you said, top of the broadcast, a very good piece of pitching, I should say. Breaking ball is a little high, ball number 2. The Wolverines have had some really good pitching this past week, having its first no-hitter in team history. And then again yesterday with David Lally Jr. going 7. Both were 7-inning games, I should say.
Casillas, just such a consistent part of this lineup. The last time he didn't get a base hit was on March 18th this season.
That is a very long streak, Sean. Wow, that is really impressive. Here's a 3-0 down the middle for strike number 1. Casillas just let that one go by him. And Tate Carey was the pitcher who threw the first Michigan no-hitter since Ron Hollis in 1994. Here's a 3-1 to Casillas. Finds the outside corner for strike number 2.
Very patient approach so far from Casillas.
Carey striking out 4 batters and issuing a walk. And then again yesterday, Lally going 7. Here's a 3-2. Just inside. Oh, they're actually going to say that's a strike. Wow. Strike number 3 is called on Benny Casillas. Looked a little low and inside, but they're going to call it strike number 3. And good piece of pitching right there from Saar to work back a 3-0 count, striking out Casillas looking.
I don't think he took the bat off his shoulder a single time that at bat.
I don't think he did as well. Casillas very comfortable trying to draw a walk nonetheless. Good piece of pitching there as A.J. Roush steps back up to the plate. Had a sacrifice bunt his first time up, sending Casillas from second to third, which then allowed Mitch Voigt to drive in the first run of the game. First pitch to him was a ball inside, ball number 1. Roush, the senior right fielder, also looks to bunt, but then pulls it back just the last second for ball number 2. Roush doesn't have an actual hit in a game since March 22nd against Purdue. Started the season on a pretty good tear, but so far has been held hitless, looking to try to break that streak. Here's the 2-1, breaking ball just inside, ball number 3. So Saar back-to-back hitters working a 3-0 count. First one he was able to come out successful, though. Let's see what he could do here against the senior right fielder.
Just can't find the strike zone early so far.
Here's a 3-0, and that hits A.J. Roush. Goes to the backstop, too. Roush will take his base, so despite not swinging either, he's able to get to first base. A little more successful than Benny Casillas, and that'll allow Mitch Voigt, the number 3-hole hitter and the first RBI of the day, to step up to the plate with the man on with 1 out. And Voigt had the sacrifice fly to center field his first time up, scoring Benny Casillas. Doesn't impact his batting average of .379. 7 home runs, now 39 RBIs on the season, 13 doubles. First pitch to Voigt, finds the strike zone for strike number 1, an 86-mile-an-hour changeup. Saar's been in the low to mid-90s with his fastball, around 92, 93 mile per hour. That breaking ball at 86, then a curveball, the lower 80s, around 81 miles an hour today against the Wolverines. Next pitch to him is that curveball. It's a little high, 76-mile-an-hour curve at that. 1-1 the count to Voigt.
Big leadoff first there was Roush. Only 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts so far this season.
Has not stopped the base runners yet, though, today, as we saw Cole Caruso take a base. We saw Cincinnati take a base. Swing and a miss for strike number 2 is Voigt. In these non-conference games especially, Sean, we've seen many teams be a little more aggressive, trying to try different things out. Won't affect them in their conference standings. Here's the 1-2 to Voigt, and he skies that one really high. Looks playable for the second baseman, Sam Grube, and he's under that one for out number 2.
Great range there from the second baseman, heading into short left field territory to make that catch.
Definitely at that. Calling off the shortstop, Nolan Brook, calling off the left fielder, Jake Maskey. It was Grube coming all the way over from his second base position. For out number 2, Colby Turner stepping back up to the plate. Turner flied out his first plate appearance. Before he sees a pitch, and quickly check on first base. A.J. Roush slides in safely.
Still yet to get a base hit this series so far. He is 0 for 5.
Turner had to make the carom throw the last inning on the first RBI for Mountaineers as the breaking ball is outside for ball number 1.
Just falling behind early is the issue for Saar so far. No runs yet in this inning, but still having to work a lot of pitch counts.
Definitely already up to 15 pitches here in the bottom of the third inning, 45 for the day. Next pitch from Saar, swing and a miss, is a big cut. I'm going to say he got a piece of that one. As Colby Turner was looking for the home run swing right there, kind of left on a knee.
Curious, with 2 outs, they can be aggressive on the base pass if they put one in play.
A little more of a shift as well. Second baseman Sam Grube playing very close to the second base, just right of the second base. Here's the 1-1 before he pitches. He'll do a quick pick move there. Again, Saar, the lefty, has a really nice pickoff move. He hasn't really had to put it full out there so far yet. He's kind of half throwing it to first, but he's sure biding his time, waiting to make a really good move as Roush takes a big lead. Turner skies one to center field, playable for Evan Smith, the center fielder. Under that one, 4 out, number 3, and Serene Saar gets out scot-free for the first time today. The Wolverines maintain their 2-1 lead, nonetheless cannot score more here in the bottom of the third. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Again, my name is Jake Singer. Alongside me, Sean Choi. Stay right there as you're going to be right back for the top of the 4th inning and Kurt Barr. Kurt Barr back on the mound. What's new for the Wolverines? Top of the 4th inning. This Barr gave up the first run of the day for the Wolverines. Just back in the top of the 3rd inning due to an RBI single. But he had been perfect through the first 2. So far he's been very, very good in this start. Sam Grube, the second baseman, up to the plate. First pitch he swings. Joe Longo there at first base, calling off Barr. Another putout for Joe Longo. He's been busy there at first base, but is making many plays for out number 1.
Great positioning by the defense. That's Grube's second ground out unassisted to the first baseman.
Good point there, Sean. So Wolverine defense able to start to read what exactly this Mount St. Mary's team's going to be doing going up to bat. Nolan Book, first pitch for strike number 1. Second pitch to him is strike number 2, so quickly Nolan Book quickly behind 0-2. Book also 0 for 1 on the day, the freshman shortstop. Pitch is outside for ball number 1 to him.
Looking for the strikeout through a chase pitch way outside, maybe setting him up for one inside.
Here's the 1-2 outside for ball number 2 to Book. Well, Book, .315 batting average, 2 home runs, 31 RBIs, and 0 for 1 on the day. Even count 2-2. He sends one on the ground. That'll be good for Mitch Voigt, second base. Jump throw to first on time for out number 2 to Joe Longo. Mitch Voigt showing off the leather.
Very pretty play, and the shifted defense lets the second baseman make a shortstop play.
Mitch Voigt, very well traveled in the infield. He's played third base his freshman year, played some first base last year, now manning the middle infield, playing second base. He's pitched, he's played the outfield. He is really the everyday utility player for this Wolverine team. Here's the first pitch to Jake Maskey. That's inside for ball number 1, but Mitch Voigt has really found a home this season at second base. Now a junior, able to finally weigh some options in terms of what his future holds for the MLB and going forward, as Second pitch he sees, Maskey is high. Sorry, the first pitch was actually inside for strike number 1, so it'll be a 1-1 count to Maskey.
Still a rare start for him, only 160 average on the year.
The 1-1 pitch hits Maskey in the shoulder, so that thunked him. Take him to first base as Kurt Barr will allow a base runner here with 2 outs. That one looked like it hurt pretty badly, honestly, for Jake Maskey. Just took one right on the front shoulder. I know from personal experience how that can feel, especially with the fastball coming at you 90 miles an hour. So Matteo Zeppieri, the senior right fielder, the 11 home run hitter this season for the Mount, steps up to the plate, 2 outs, looks to bunt, pulls back for strike number 1. Zeppieri, 0 for 1 on the day, 291 batting average, but it was 35 RBIs, 10 doubles. He really has a lot of power in his swing, the number 6 hole hitter for the Mount. And he's a runner on first base. One swing of the bat can take the lead for the Mount. Here's the pitch, and he skies one, looks to be fouled down the first base line, and it does go foul. The 79-mile-an-hour changeup just got Zeppieri to be a little in front of that one, and quickly Zeppieri is behind 0-2.
Trying to put that hit-by pitch behind him was on pace for a clean inning, but trying to get Zeppieri out quick.
Kurt Barr, 0-2 count here, up to 43 pitches through 3 2/3. 0-2, 2 out, runner on first. Here's the payoff from Barr. Breaking ball is a little high as there was a stolen base attempt there from, I believe, Maskey. And Noah Miller's throw was very short because he slipped on the home plate. So Jake Maskey slides in safely to second. Looks to be that Noah Miller is okay, the catcher for the Wolverines. So now it'll be a 1-2 count for Zeppieri. Runner on second is Jake Maskey. Here's the 1-2 outside, ball number 2.
Zeppieri, a 291 hitter on the season, but 361 with a runner in scoring position.
Great point there, Sean. As runners in score position as the Mount just created one there with a stolen base attempt. There was a little confusion going on there because, again, there was a breaking ball that appeared to be in the strike zone. It was a little high. No Miller then slipped. Here's the 2-2, and Zeppieri gets one. That's going to go out to right field. Right fielder calls him off. A.J. Roush for out number 3. Again, Mitch Voigt running all the way out to shallow right field. A.J. Roush calling him off, though, and Kurt Barr gets out cleanly once again here in the top of the 4th inning. And Mitch Voigt went a long way to try to get that ball, but A.J. Roush coming in hot. Luckily, the two players did not collide, and A.J. Roush made the nice play there for out number 3. The Wolverines still lead 2-1. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Good game going on here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, as the Wolverines lead Mount St. Mary's 2-1. Serene Sarr back on the mound for another inning of work for the Mountaineers.
Caruso raised his batting average back over 300 with his base hit, first of the series.
Right about that one, Cole Caruso stepping up to the plate first for the Wolverines. 1 for 1 on the day, 312 hitter, 9 home runs, 30 RBIs. He's been a very, very good fielder. His hitting has really come together. Last year he was a little up and down. This year he's been very good, as the first pitch he sees is a breaking ball outside for ball number 1. Cole Caruso, part of last year's transfer class that brought in so many new faces to this Wolverine team. So we keep seeing new faces every single year. Next pitch he sees finds the outside corner for strike number 1. The former University of South Carolina Upstate transfer who started 59 games for SC Upstate. And last year, batting well over 260. Caruso flies one foul, high and outside for strike number 2.
Looked like he chased that one.
Little bitch trying to protect there. Now a 2-year starter for the Wolverines. Has been the everyday third baseman, which originally was the reason why Mitch Voigt moved from third to first. And he had started at third base 2 seasons ago, was Mitch Voigt. Here's the 1-2 inside for ball number 2. Now Caruso is senior. It's the last year of eligibility for the Wolverines. Trying to put it all together. And batting over 300 is a fantastic start at that.
9 home runs leads the team.
Here's a 2-2 from Saar. Inside ball 3.
Great approach with 2 strikes. Just taking the close ones and staying disciplined, making the pitcher work.
Full count here for Caruso. Here's the payoff pitch, low and inside for ball number 4, and that is the first walk of the day, Sean. Cole Caruso will take first base on walks, again, not counting the hit by pitch that we saw last inning on Jake Maskey. So Cole Caruso working the full count. Now we're going to get a quick conversation here. The Mount St. Mary's pitching coach will come out to the mound to talk to Serene Saar. Was been pretty good today. I mean, he's given up those 2 runs in those first 2 innings, but only 3 hits, and has really been able to keep the Wolverine batters at bay. He has gone behind on counts, Sean, but so far he's been able to work back at them, including a strikeout on a 3-0 count to Benny Casillas last inning. What have you seen from him and his resilience so far in the mound today? I know he's just walked a batter, but again, against this Wolverine team that put up 10 runs yesterday against his own team, he's been pretty good.
He's been pretty good. Apart from that 1 3-pitch walk to Roush, he's been having competitive at-bats. Even if he's lost some of them, he's still attacking the strike zone most of the time and at least trying to get back into the count when he falls behind.
So we're going to leave him in there against the lefty Jeter Ibarra. Don't see anyone in the Mount St. Mary's bullpen getting ready just yet. First pitch, slider outside for ball number 1. Wolverines have nobody working in their pen, so Kurt Barr, as expected, will get back another inning. We'll see how long he can go today, but you know Tracy Smith, the head coach of the Wolverines, will want him to go as long as possible. Here's the 1-0 to Ibarra, grounds one foul. You know, Michigan, one of the main problems the Wolverines have had, really during all of Tracy Smith's tenure, and even going to Eric Bakic's tenure, was the relief pitching. And you've seen that be a problem, especially last week against Oregon, where they're giving up 12 runs a game. These last few weeks, though, they had a 1-pitcher no-hitter. Then you had a 1-pitcher 7-inning shutout yesterday. When you're able to preserve your arms in the bullpen, that's why you're winning by so many games, and they'll be able to really be consistent, as the 1-1 is outside for ball number 2. And Sean, you know, for a team that plays so many games in a week, I mean, the Wolverines, this is their 4th game of the week. They're going to play a 5th tomorrow, already playing a 3-game series last week, and even another game this midweek. Being able to preserve those arms really bodes well going forward. Here's a 2-1, smacked into right field, but that will be playable for Matteo Zeppieri as Cole Caruso gets back safely. Looked like Ibarra made some really good contact, but that ball just died, making the high point there in right field. Zeppieri for out number 1 on the putout.
Bit of an unlucky lineout. Ibarra homered last night. He's still staying hot. Not every good hit falls, but still a great at-bat for him.
That one looked like it had a lot of power on it, but again, it just died when it hit the high point in the air. Joe Longo, the first baseman today, 1 for 1 on the day. Had a nice first at-bat with a single earlier on in the game. Man on first, 1 out for Longo. Stolen base attempt, but Longo skies one to first base. Caruso, we're going to have to run all the way back as the first baseman, Bryce Rudisil, makes the play as Caruso is able to just get back safely. Another hit-and-run chance for the Wolverines. Cole Caruso taking off for second, realizing right when he stood up on second base that the ball was going to be catchable for the first baseman, Rudisill, and he gets back safely for the second out.
Looked like Longo went against a high one and popped that one way high foul.
Don't believe it was a stolen base attempt because Kokorusa doesn't steal that much. You've been seeing a lot of small ball tactics today already for Tracy Smith. 2 hit-and-run opportunities, a few stolen bases, a few sacks. And now you have 2 outs. Man on first, quick pickoff move as Caruso gets back safely. Serene Saar doing his best to keep the base runners at bay, especially now seeing Caruso take off the previous pitch. Noah Miller, the freshman, catcher, 8-hole hitter, steps back up to the plate. Laid down a beautiful bunt his first time up today.
Saar's relied on the pickoff move a ton today, just getting uncomfortable with these base runners from Michigan.
They called a bunt for Noah Miller in the second inning, an error on Serene Saar. So fortunately for him, does not get to pick up a hit. First pitch to him, he swings at, that gets skied up in the air for the right fielder, Matteo Zeppieri, and he's under that one for out number 3. So Serene Saar, despite giving up a walk to start the inning, is able to get the next 3 batters out and stays clean here through 4. In the last 2 innings at least, Wolverines still lead 2-1. Stay right there for the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Kurt Barr back on the mound for the top of the 5th inning, only giving up 1 run, 2 hits through 4 today. He's been very, very good. Sean mentioned at the top of the broadcast he had a shaky start last time against Oregon. It was a ranked opponent. Nonetheless, he is showing why he is one of the consistent starters on this Michigan team. Sean, we mentioned the first pitch strikes. It's been a very, very big reason why Barr's been so consistent. What else has he been doing today to really mow down these Mount St. Mary's batters?
He's been getting enough swing and miss, and he's not getting caught on the barrel that often. He got taken for a double once, and that's the only extra base hit he's allowed today.
Great insight there. And he's Sean Choi. My name is Jake Singer, listening to WCBN Sports. Wolverines leading 2-1 here in a non-conference series that is becoming a little bit more of a rarity given the expanded conferences and the Big Ten expanding to the West Coast this year, in baseball at least, bringing in USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington. Just mentioned the Wolverines facing Oregon last weekend. Only taken 1 of 3 from them. Nonetheless, it was a big win, given it was a ranked win. First pitch to Kyle Cincinnati is in there for strike number 1. Wolverines also had previously faced USC this season. UCLA was a very tough opponent for the Wolverines. Here's the 0-1 to Cincinnati, bending in there for strike number 2. And Sean, you asked me at the beginning of the broadcast, Big Ten baseball comparatively to the rest of the country, how good is it? And it's getting better because of these increased teams, but also the competition's getting more fierce for teams like Michigan, as that's outside for ball number 1. And the Wolverines, who were used to facing Maryland and Nebraska as the toughest opponents, still really weren't ranked in the past few years. Now you're facing some of the top competition from the beginning all the way through the end of the season.
I think it's just great to help everyone grow in baseball.
1-2, just low for ball number 2. And I agree. I think fiercer competition always makes these teams better. It makes head coach Tracy Smith have to throw out the best lineup possible every single weekend. You do get to have these non-conference series still against Mount St. Mary's and midweek games against Akron and Western Michigan, which is still every year Michigan loves to do. They love to play these games. They love to see kind of what you can make of these teams. And games like today, games like yesterday, games like tomorrow really make up what this team can do going forward. You want to see Kurt Barr succeed. You want to see Jeter Ibarra succeed. Here's a 2-2 on the ground, and Mitch Voigt, this play will play for him to Joe Longo for out number 1. And it allows Tracy Smith to do some different things. I mean, today he's doing something I don't think I've really been able to see Tracy Smith do this season a lot was playing small ball. This Wolverine team doesn't hit a lot of home runs, as you said. Cole Caruso leading the team with 9 compared to the other team, Mount St. Mary's, when their leading home run hitter has 11. But when you're able to put balls on the ground with bunts, sacrifice flies, stolen base attempts, hit and runs, that is how you can defeat other teams. As talking about bunts, Bryce Rudisil shows bunt and then pulls back for ball number 1, freshman first baseman. Seeing both of these teams just really throw out different things, trying to see what works, because once again, in the later part of the season, every single game matters. Here's the 1-0. Rudisil on the ground to Joe Longo. That's foul, though, as Longo makes the play right behind the first base. 1-1 the count to Rudisil.
Speaking of ground balls have been Sarr's friend today. He's gotten 8 ground ball outs to just 1 pop fly and 1 fly out, just keeping it in the infield.
1-1 on the ground to Cole Caruso, the third baseman, making a play to Longo for out number 2. Caruso playing really off the third baseline. There was a big shift going to the right, and he was in perfect position there for out number 2. Evan Smith, the senior center fielder, stepping back up to the plate. The .213 hitter, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. The lefty today struck out looking in the third, but he swings in the first pitch he sees, and that'll knock a base hit into right center field. And he's going to look to go 2, but instead gets held up right back at first base. A.J. Roush had to come a long way to make a play on that one. And Evan Smith wasting no time there, seeing the first pitch he sees, extending the inning with 2 outs.
Last couple innings, Barr has struggled to get the third out in each of the last 3 innings after 2 outs allowed a base runner.
Ty Frito, big hit in the game today for Mount. Steps back up to the plate. First pitch he sees is low for ball number 1. Frito grounded out in the first to start the game to Cole Caruso, but his second at-bat was a big one, knocking a RBI double down the left field line, scoring the first and only run for Mount St. Mary's today. Here's the 1-0. Swings and chops one foul on the third base line. Wow, he really likes to pull the ball, Sean, as you see the Wolverine defense having a big shift going left. 3 fielders on the left side of second base for Frito, and you've seen both of his hits go down that third base line, and even that foul ball, he is very ahead, which is why he's batting .346 this season. Frito, the sophomore third baseman, making a big jump from last year, just hitting in 64 plate appearances so far this season. He's well over 130. Pitch he sees is on the outside corner for strike number 1. Strike number 2. 1-2 the count to Frito. My apologies with the foul ball there. So 1-2 the count to Frito. 2 outs. Runner on first. It's Evan Smith. Kurt Barr, 4 2/3 so far. The payoff pitch was a little low, so 2-2.
Evan Smith took a big lead off first. He's 6 for 7 in stolen at base attempts today, and with 2 strikes on the batter and 2 outs, I wouldn't be shocked if he ran.
Definitely not at all. You've seen it so far today. The Mountaineers like to run with 2 strikes. Frito up, though. 2-2, and Kurt Barr will look back at Smith once again. Both these pitchers, a lot of work today looking at those runners on first base, trying to make sure that no one's running on them. 2-2 the count to Frito. Here's the pitch, and that gets fouled off. Going off the netting behind the plate.
Frito trying to make Barr work. He's still only 58 pitches almost through the 5th inning.
Yeah, very good stats so far for Barr. And the offense hasn't necessarily been there compared to yesterday. Still with the lead, 2-1 are the Wolverines. But Barr has been keeping the Wolverines in this game all day. Big lead at first. The 2-2 pitch is outside, 80-mile-an-hour slider. So full count to Frito with Evan Smith on first base and Kurt Barr. What kind of pitch does he throw here? The righty-righty matchup. Big lead at first base is Evan Smith. Here's a 3-2 pitch, and he fouls that one off out of plays. Ty Frito, let's see if that hits a car. Don't hear groans from the crowd, so I'm going to say no. Again, I've seen it many times, but if you've ever been to Ray Fisher Stadium, I always recommend not driving here because of how easy cars get hit by foul balls. And Sean, I've been coming here for 4 years, and I have never driven to a baseball game for that reason alone. Here's the payoff pitch, and he skies that one. That should be playable in the infield. Mitch Voigt, the second baseman, comes under that, calls off Joe Longo for out number 3. And Kurt Barr, despite giving up a base run in the last 3 innings, has not given up a run in the final 2. And the Wolverines preserve a 2-1 lead as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Sean and I will be right back. Serene Saar back on the mound for a 5th inning of work for the Mountaineers. And Sean, in a game that is already lopsided in terms of, if you look at the stat sheet between the Wolverines, a Power 4 team, Mount St. Mary's from my state of Maryland. It's great to see them still in this game, even just as a non-biased anybody. Serene Saar has been fantastic keeping this team in this game in those previous 2 innings.
4 innings, only 2 runs so far in 60 pitches. We've been talking about his base runners, but he's honestly got a lot of outs too.
As is Greg Pace Jr., only his 2nd plate appearance of the day, just showing how good Saar has been. The 9-hole hitter for the Wolverines steps to the plate. First pitch to him. He swings into left field, and he makes the play. The left fielder, Jake Maskey, with the diving play on Greg Pace Jr., taking away a hit, maybe even 2 bags of that, as Jake Maskey holds up his glove, showing the umpires he made that play. I wish you all could have seen that on a replay. But Jake Maskey, first pitch, Greg Pace Jr. sees, making a beautiful play in left field.
Off the bat, I thought I was going to find the gap for 2, but Maskey just diving and selling out. Great route for the out.
Great route indeed. Benny Casillas, leadoff man, back up to the plate. First pitch he sees, he fouls off down the first base line, out of play. Foul ball and strike number 1. Just again, tough to see from our vantage point, Maskey's play there in left field, but he stretched all the way out for that one in left center, taking away a base hit for Greg Pace Jr., who went 4 for 4 yesterday. Here's the 0-1. Casillas skies one out to center field. The center fielder, Evan Smith, goes all the way back, but makes the catch on the warning track for out number 2. 2 good defensive plays for the Mount. That ball probably went 375 feet as the center field wall is 395. And Evan Smith making a big play there on the warning track, taking away extra base hits for Benny Casillas for out number 2.
Cruel Sport Baseball is 2 great swings of the bat from Michigan, but none of them touch grass.
And that ball going anywhere else in the field probably be a home run for Casillas, unless going dead center. Here's the pitch to A.J. Roush, finding the outside corner for strike number 1.
Roush, a sacrifice hit his first time up and a walk last time. Finally gets a first pitch strike here.
Here's the 0-1 to Roush. That one's a little too outside the 75-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Just cannot find the strike zone. 1-1 the count to the senior right fielder. Roush, one of the transfers for this current season, as he skies one into left center field. Evan Smith, the center fielder, under that one for out number 3. So 3 plays by the outfield helping out their pitcher, Serene Saar. Wolverines put it into play but can't do anything with it. And Mount St. Mary's is able to maintain the 1-run deficit and we'll go to the top of the 6th inning as the Wolverines continue to lead 2-1. Stay right there. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Kurt Barr out there for a 6th inning of work for the Wolverines. So far, he has been stellar. Sean, what has he been doing so far today?
So 5 innings, only 3 base hits and 1 run, 3 strikeouts, a little low for him, but no walks so far. Only 66 pitches en route for the win, but it's a 2-1 slim lead that Barr looks to protect.
Facing the 2, 3, and 4 batters of the Mount so far, starting with Nick Fleming, the senior DH. Struck out last in the 3rd inning.
These 3 batters yet to score,
First pitch, Fleming, though, gets a base hit right past Mitch Voigt into right field, so wasting no time. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
It's the dreaded 3rd time through the lineup where Fleming finally gets his first base hit. The next 2 yet to get on base, but seeing a pitcher for the 3rd time gives the batter a big advantage.
Definitely know you were just about to say that. And then Nick Fleming goes and rips a single right past Mitch Voigt for the first base runner of the top of the 6th inning. No out here for Sam Grube. The second baseman, freshman, batting .328, but 0 for 2 on the day. Couldn't get the ball out of the infield in his first 2 plate appearances, grounding out both times to the first baseman, Joe Longo.
Barr wants the exact same plate appearance for the 3rd time in a row. Easy double play to first.
Easy double play indeed. Double play is in play for Benny Casillas and Mitch Voigt in the middle infield. Cole Caruso playing short at third base as Grube grounds 1-2. Mitch Voigt with a nice sliding play to second for 1, to first for 2. Easy double play for the Wolverines. Started by Mitch Voigt in the middle infield to Benny Casillas to Joe Longo. And just as we were saying, Sean, that is exactly what Kurt Barr wanted on the mound.
Pulled ground ball into the shift. Voigt with a beautiful sliding play, relay to second, back to first, marked that one 4-6-3 at home.
4-6-3 double play as Mitch Voigt playing up the middle. Still had to dive and slide to that one, but Benny Casillas making a nice relay throw to first base for the 2 outs. Nolan Book up to the plate. Shortstop looking at a breaking ball going right by him for strike number 1, a 77-mile-per-hour curve. And the freshman shortstop, 0 for 2 on the day as well, grounding out to the infield both times. Faces an 0-1 count. Here's the 0-2. He skies that one into left center field. Going back is Colby Turner, but he's under that one. 4 out number 3, and Kurt Barr gets through only 3 batters and preserves just a 69 pitch count. We'll see if he goes back for the 7th, but the Wolverines hold on to a 2-1 lead and are back up to the plate in the bottom of the 6th. Serene Starr, the starting pitcher for Mount St. Mary's, back out for a 6th inning of work, just like Kurt Barr and Sean. In a game yesterday that only took 7 innings for the Wolverines to complete the mercy rule, 10-run rule. Starr has been very good, especially in that last inning of work.
It only took him 6 pitches to get through the lineup. All fly balls out to center and to left field. Not really what you want to see, but 6 pitches is 6 pitches.
6 pitches is 6 pitches indeed. There was some contact, but weaker contact at that. But he'll have to face the toughest part of the order against the Wolverines. Mitch Voigt, the 3-hole batter, followed by Colby Turner and Cole Caruso. And then Jeter Ibarra if he gets to him. First pitch to Voigt. Swings at that one. That's going to get skied out to right field. Mateo Zeppieri is under that one. He has to go all the way back to the warning track, but makes the play for out number 1.
Couple well-hit balls. Voigt sacrifice fly is first time up, but still has not reached safely.
Zeppieri had to track that one all the way out to right center field. Looked like Voigt got just the end part of the bat, so good contact, but just a little too little of contact, I should say. Apologies for not the better terminology explaining that one. Colby Turner, the sophomore left fielder, up to the plate. 1 out. First pitch to him, outside ball 1.
Colby Turner flied out to dead center field both times, just couldn't get enough of it.
253 average, 4 home runs, 30 RBIs, 9 doubles is for the sophomore. Facing a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch from Sarr, and Turner drives that one out to left field. The left fielder going all the way back, Jake Maskey, and looks that one go over the wall. Home run, Colby Turner.
Colby Turner, that's his 5th home run of the season. A lot of fly balls recently for Sarr, and that one couldn't stay in the park. Out to the deep part of the field.
Jake Maskey, the left fielder, went all the way back to the warning track, but ran out of real estate as Colby Turner, as you just said, Sean, made some very good contact in his first 2 plate appearances, flying out to center field both times. That time he turned a little earlier and was able to send that one over the left field wall. Wolverines lead 3-1, 1 out here as Cole Caruso stepped up to the plate.
A crucial insurance run in the 6th inning.
First pitch, Caruso sees strike number 1.
On a check swing.
So Colby Turner notched another run for the Wolverines, their first since the 2nd inning. Pitch to Caruso, breaking ball inside, 75-mile-an-hour changeup. Going back to that Colby Turner home run. He just turned a little earlier this time, Sean. He was able to finally find the left field part of the wall, a shorter distance than center field. Here's the 1-1 to Caruso, low and inside for ball number 2. And that was all he needed. He was showcasing that power all day, and he finally got one over the wall.
The pulled fly ball, the most efficient hit in baseball. Sent it out to center twice and just got a little bit earlier on it and pulled it out of the wall, over the wall.
2-1 to Caruso, bends just 2 inside, 75-mile-an-hour curveball for ball number 3.
Already twice up, twice on for Caruso with a base hit and a walk in a 3-1 count here in the 6th inning.
3-1 count indeed. 1 out here. Wolverines up 3-1. Here's the pitch. And that'll be ball number 4 for Caruso. So Caruso's reached base all 3 times today. His 2nd walk of the day, and he'll take his walk to first base. Just 1 out, 1 runner on for Jeter Ibarra.
Jeter Ibarra lined out to right. Great piece of hitting, just right at the right fielder, looking to see what he can do this time up with a runner on.
For Jeter Ibarra gets a pitch. See the catcher, Kyle Cincinnati, step up to the mound, just talking to his pitcher, trying to calm him down. And Serene Sarr has been very good today, only giving up 4 hits. That home run really separates the Wolverines right now. Just a 2-run lead, but it seems very big given how this game has been going and how effective Kurt Barr has been on the mound for the Wolverines.
No team has yet to put up a crooked number in a single inning just yet, but with Ibarra at the plate, homered yesterday, he wants to make that come true for Wolverines.
His 4th of the season, 28 RBIs, 9 doubles for Ibarra, 281 batting average. Cole Caruso at first, 1 out. Ibarra at the plate. Caruso's sizable lead at first base. Saar looking at him, and he actually has a beautiful pickoff move. Cole Caruso has to slide into second and is tagged out for the 2nd out. What a pickoff move for Serene Saar. And I was mentioning to you earlier, Sean, Serene Saar had just been lofting the ball over to first base, biding his time and waiting, and that time right there was the most perfectly timed pickoff move you can make as Cole Caruso took off for second and him dead to rights right there at the bag.
Cole Caruso 2 for 2 in stolen bases before, but that lefty pickoff move was just excellent to get a free out.
Pitch to Ibarra is outside for ball number 1. And after giving up a home run and then a walk, that is badly needed for Serene Saar, the Mount St. Mary's pitcher. Now has no one on base, 2 out, with Jeter Ibarra at the plate. Here's the 1-0, bending in there is a strike.
Tough matchup still, lefty-lefty. Ibarra, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup to start today.
Infield playing normally, no shift on Ibarra, even though Sam Grube, the second baseman, is playing practically on the grass. Here's the 1-1, check swing. They're going to say he went around, even though Ibarra is very upset by that call. Didn't look like he went halfway around, but home plate umpire says otherwise. Home plate's James Mulek today. Andrew Joseph, the first base umpire. Aaron Woodbury, the second base umpire. And Sal Giacomantiono is the third base ump today for your game.
Notable, that check swing call was not asked down to third base, but called directly by the home plate umpire.
So a 1-2 count for Ibarra, much different than a 2-1. Here's the payoff pitch, high and outside, ball 2.
Wastes that one with 2 strikes, maybe trying to set Ibarra up here.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Wolverines lead 3-1. 2-2 count, 2 outs, no runners on for the Wolverines. Here's the pitch, and Ibarra just gets a piece of that one, very in front, sending that one down the first base line, out of play.
Wants another big fly here on that big cut, still with 2 strikes, but pulls it foul. Notable that the Michigan Wolverines have yet to get a base hit with 2 outs, 0 for 4 in that scenario.
Very interesting statistic there, Sean. 2-2 to Ibarra. Just gets a piece of that one. Nice breaking ball, 77-mile-an-hour slider, and he just able to fan and just barely get a piece that sails that one out of play, hitting off Yost Ice Arena behind us here at Ray Fisher Stadium. A beautiful day here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, 56 degrees, sunny, clouds in the sky, but you still see the blue sky. Here's the 2-2, just outside for ball number 3. Ibarra got lucky with that one. Might have hit a corner of the plate, but home plate umpire gives him a call. Full count here for Ibarra, 2 outs.
Putting together a great at-bat. That check swing call put him down 1-2. Now he's got the advantage.
Full count, 2 outs. Payoff pitch, just outside, ball 4. Jeter Ibarra will take a base, and the inning will continue.
Great at-bat there. Just fouling off anything that was close. Maybe a favorable call for him on 2-2, but just watches all the way. Was reading him well after the first couple of pitches.
Joe Longo, the senior first baseman today, stepping up to the plate, the .250 average. Just 1 home run, 4 RBIs, but 1 for 2 on the day. Notching a single in his first plate appearance, and then flying out to first his last time up. That's when Cole Caruso had a hit-and-run call. He had to run quickly back to first base, sliding in safely. 2 out here, Ibarra on first. First pitch to Longo, no pitch yet. So I'm going to keep Ibarra at bay, as you've seen Saar do all afternoon, most recently being very successful at getting Cole Caruso dead to rights.
Ibarra only attempted 1 official stolen base attempt and was successful.
Here's the first pitch to Longo. Put it on the ground to the second baseman, Grube. Grube will field it easily on to first for out number 3 is to Bryce Rudisil. And Mount St. Mary's, despite giving up the run, that's all the Wolverines get. But on the other side of things, Colby Turner sends one over the left field wall, increases the Wolverines' lead, and now Michigan will lead 3-1 heading in the 7th inning. Kurt Barr back on the mound. No one still warming up in the bullpen. Stay right there. You're listening to WCBN Sports. He's Sean. I'm Jake. We'll be right back. Kurt Barr back on the mound for the Wolverines through 6 innings of work, only giving up 4 hits, 1 run. Wolverines finally getting some stretching going on in the bullpen, but no one anywhere close to being ready, so this will be Kurt Barr's inning. Looking at the Mount St. Mary's bullpen, appears Serene Sarr's day may be done. First pitch by Barr is a swinging strike for strike number 1 against Jake Maskey, the left fielder who had a look at that ball by Colby Turner go over his head. Maskey 0 for 1 on the day. Got hit by a pitch, though, most recently in the 4th. Here's the 0-1. That gets skied, foul back, just a little above us here in the press box. So quickly 2 strikes on Maskey. No out here in the top of the 7th.
Great starting pitching from the Wolverines recently. As you've said, Barr had a 5-pitch 6th frame.
Payoff pitch just outside for ball 1. 80-mile-an-hour changeup there. So 1-2 the count to Maskey. Maskey batting 154. Here's the 1-2, and just check swing foul that goes actually right into the Michigan dugout, ricocheting off of at least one player, almost hitting head coach Tracy Smith. Luckily, everyone appears to be okay. That ball just sailed right past the steps where one of the assistant coaches is standing. So 1-2 count to Maskey. Here's a pitch by Barr, and that bent in for strike number 3. 75-mile-an-hour curveball just looping right in, hitting the high inside corner, and Kurt Barr notches another strikeout.
Great pitch there, just absolutely freezes him. Gave him a free base last time with a hit by pitch, but punches him out looking in the 7th.
Mateo Zeppieri, senior right fielder, steps back in for his 3rd plate appearance. First pitch to him, swing and a miss, strike 1, 78-mile-an-hour changeup, just getting Zeppieri way out in front. Zeppieri last time flied out to right field. It was the time when Mitch Voigt went all the way out there to meet his teammate A.J. Roush. Roush calling him off for the out. Zeppieri putting contact to the second pitch, but that goes foul. 0-2 count quickly to Zeppieri. Remind me, Sean, how many pitches did Kurt Barr have his last inning?
The last inning was a 5-pitch inning.
5?
Base hit, double play, fly out.
Wow, so 76 pitches through 6 1/3. Now already up quickly 0-2 to Zeppieri. Here's the payoff pitch down the middle. Zeppieri, those skies went out to left field. Colby Turner, though, seems to be under that one easily for out number 2.
Zeppieri, the premier home run threat of Mount St. Mary's lineup, is put away easily 3 times today.
Zeppieri, not just a home run threat at that, he was batting nearly 300 coming into the day. Batting average, though, is now fallen down to the 280 range as Kyle Cincinnati, the senior catcher, steps back up to the plate. One of the few hits for the Mount today.
Scored the only run for Mount St. Mary.
He did in that. First pitch he sees, hits the outside corner for strike number 1. 1 for 2 on the day. The single in the third that did eventually score him and then grounded out in the 5th. Next pitch to Cincinnati is low and outside for ball number 1. Barr's ERA down to 4.54. Came in the day with a 5.14 ERA, so it's considerably helped his statistics, and you're seeing why. Pitch to Cincinnati is inside, ball 2. Kurt Barr not happy with that pitch as he jumps out of frustration on the mound. 2-1 to Kyle Cincinnati. Here's the 2-1. Cincinnati fans at that pitch, so even in the count, 2-2. If anyone's following the Masters, Roy McIlroy is on a tear right now. Just draining birdies left and right. Here's the 2-2 to Cincinnati. Sends that one up the middle for another base hit. Greg Pace Jr. fields that one cleanly in center field. But Cincinnati has a 2-hit day and continues the inning for Mount St. Mary's.
Little unfortunate there was a ground ball but found the wide open field in center. The fielders were set each side pretty far off the middle.
Cincinnati on first base. Had a stolen base attempt also previously, which he had not done much this season. So now I guess you could say he's slightly a threat on the base paths, but with 2 outs, the focus is on Bryce Rudisil, ball in the dirt for ball number 1.
It's been a big pitcher's duel today. Barr has yet to give up a walk, just 1 hit by pitch. That and the single home run has been the difference. Both teams have only gotten 5 and 4 hits.
Freshman first baseman facing a 1-0 count, 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch to him. He grounds that one foul, Joe Longo. Just making contact with that ball. So 1-1 to Rudisil. Rudisil a 186 batting average, 6 home runs, 18 RBIs, 2 doubles. But again, 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out. Looking to make some contact here. Mitch Voigt playing now definitely in the grass, very deep second base. Benny Casillas right behind the actual second base, so he's playing right up the middle with Cole Caruso playing near the bag. So you're seeing the Wolverines put a semi-shift on Rudisil here, giving up a wide open hole, the shortstop position, a wide open hole kind of near the left side of the second base. Joe Longo holding Kyle Cincinnati on at first. 1-2 count to Rudisil. Here's the payoff. Rudisil is able to make contact and sky that one foul past the Wolverine bullpen.
Third time through the order, the bottom of the lineup has made Barr work, already up to 84 pitches after having a very, very efficient 6th frame.
Good point there. Again, through 6 2/3, 84 pitches. Not too bad. No one throwing in the Wolverine bullpen yet, but we'll see what the leash is on Barr today. Here's the 1-2, and the breaking ball is out for strike number 3. Nice curveball there to get Rudisil fanning, 77 mile an hour on that one. Barr's up to 5 strikeouts on the day, 85 pitches, and the Wolverines maintain a 3-1 lead. We'll stretch here in the 7th inning stretch. Wolverines back up at the plate in the bottom of the 7th. Stay right there. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Seventh inning stretch time here. Bottom of the seventh inning. Wolverines still lead 3-1, and Serene Sar's day is finally done for Mount St. Mary's. We got a new pitcher on the mound. First time on the day for both of these teams. It'll be Eli DeRossi, the freshman. And Sean, what can you tell me about the freshman Eli DeRossi?
So a right-handed pitcher. This will be his 9th appearance. He's started 5 games for a 3-win, 1-loss record and a 4.65 ERA. Last time up, he pitched 5 innings in relief, 2 runs, only 1 earned against Ryder in a loss. Just looking to keep the game competitive. Only down 3-1 is Mount St. Mary.
Yeah, last appearance April 5th, so it's been exactly 7 days for Eli DeRossi. And again, this team has a pretty good ERAs, at least between these two pitchers. You're seeing the top starting pitcher for the Mount go out today, and now one of the top bullpen arms / starting pitchers for the Mount. As you're just saying, trying to keep it close, especially after yesterday's performance, just getting shut out, giving up 10 runs. Only giving up 3 is much better, and now Mount just needs some offense to kind of complement that. So we're just, again, seeing some stretching going on in the Wolverine bullpen. I'll let you know what that name is once we get it, but just based off the looks of it, it seems like Kurt Barr will be poised to go out for an 8th inning. Eli DeRossi showcasing a slider in his warm-up pitches, a changeup, a fastball, and he'll get a chance to face a pinch hitter. It'll be Matt Spear. So Matt Spear will now pinch hit for Noah Miller. Matt Spear, one of the starting catchers on this team, splitting time all season long, one of the transfers for this Wolverine team this season. Now he'll get the chance with the pinch hit opportunity, playing 4 years previously at San Jose State. First pitch he sees is a ball for ball number 1, the senior, batting .225 this season, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. So he'll come into the game to catch. Second pitch for Spear, a little high for ball number 2.
Going for the lefty-righty matchup, the lefty Spear against the replacement DeRossi.
And this is what head coach Tracy Smith loves to do. He's a very matchup-heavy manager. Next pitch he sees just outside ball 3, and seeing with the new pitcher, the starter of the day was a lefty, now with the righty, and that is why you make that change. Matt Spear, more than capable of coming up and stepping up to the plate. Right now facing a 3-0 count from DeRossi, and that's high for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk for Spear. Very easy to get on base, and the Wolverines have a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Can't raise his batting average in a pinch hit opportunity, but everyone loves 4 straight balls. Get comfortable, get in the game. Probably going to be the replacement catcher.
Greg Pace Jr. back up to the plate now for the Wolverines. Runner on first is Spear. Greg Pace Jr. 0 for 2 on the day, but not necessarily to his fault. Last time up was just robbed of a base hit by Jake Maskey. First pitch he fans at, kind of half swings for strike number 1. Again, Jake Maskey making the diving play in left field to rob Greg Pace Jr. of a base hit. And we've said multiple times already today, going 4 for 4 yesterday in the 10-0 win. Batting .279 now, 2 home runs. Pace tries to lay down a bunt, just barely makes a piece of it, but it hits the glove of the catcher, Kyle Cincinnati, for strike number 2. 0-2 count to Pace. And the junior center fielder dealt with injuries last season that halted his season. This year was sitting behind A.J. Roush to start the year, and now has become the everyday center fielder as the 0-2 pitch is outside for ball number 1. The Wolverines have a lot of talented outfielders on this team. Pace just being one of them, but definitely one of the faster players on this team, one of the better gloves. Here's the 1-2 outside for DeRossi. So 2-2 the count to Greg Pace Jr.
You can tell the runner's bothering him after giving up a straight 4-pitch walk. He doesn't want to let a man into scoring position.
Big difference, especially with Sar, the lefty, having a lot of confidence in his pickoff move. Now with the righty and DeRossi. Here's the 2-2, and Greg Pace Jr. goes down on strikes, swinging through. The fastball, sorry, my apologies, actually be a breaking ball, 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball at that. Looked a lot quicker from my eyes. So for the first out of the inning, DeRossi finally gets one down, and the Wolverines will flip to the top of the lineup. Benny Casillas, the senior shortstop, will step back in, 1 for 3 on the day, looking to add to that total.
Greg Pace Jr. swinging strikeout, only the second punch-out for Michigan.
Very interesting today. Wolverines putting a lot of balls in play. Only 4 hits to show for it, but 3 runs is all you need right now to lead this game. Spear still on first. Casillas at the plate. First pitch. He swings at out to center field. Playable for Evan Smith. Smith will make the play, make the relay throw to his shortstop, Nolan Book, and Spear will retreat back to first for out number 2.
Michigan's done a good job of putting runners on, but I believe that makes them 1 for 11 with runners on base.
And again, it hasn't necessarily mattered much in this game, but going forward, you're looking at the statistics, you're looking at how these players are doing in these different situations. Definitely something interesting to look out for going forward. A.J. Roush stepping back up to the plate. Again, he has not notched actually, my apologies, it's not going to be A.J. Roush. Last second, they make another pinch-hitting move. Jonathan Kim, one of the other very talented outfielders for this Michigan team, getting the day off today. We've seen Jonathan Kim start many games in the outfield all season long. And Jonathan Kim will come in for A.J. Roush. And I was just about to say, A.J. Roush hasn't had a hit still since March 22nd. Maybe partly the reason why they're going to go with the lefty Jonathan Kim against the righty Eli DeRossi. Nonetheless, first pitch to Kim is outside for ball number 1.
Kim is coming in today with a .286 batting average. No home runs just yet, but 11 runs batted in.
Kim, one of the most consistent hitters on this Michigan team. He batted well over 300 last season, again dealing with some injury issues that held him out for majority of the year. He had a very strong start, a very strong finish, just missed a big chunk of time right in the middle. So far this year, he's been very healthy. He's just in a very crowded outfield. Here's the 1-0 to Kim, swinging a foul ball. So 1-1 is the count to Jonathan Kim. And the Wolverines, something they haven't had in the last few years, Sean, has been the depth that they can go to with the pinch hitting, that you're not losing hitting ability or fielding ability going to your bench. It's exactly what's happening here with Spear and with Jonathan Kim. Here's the 1-1 to Kim, breaking ball high. 75-mile-an-hour slider, just misses the strike zone, so 2-1 is to Jonathan Kim.
Didn't notch an official AB last time, but did walk and stole a base.
Definitely has the speed on the base paths. Before him will be the catcher Spear, who's on first base. Here's the 2-1. Kim fouls that back for strike number 2. Mitch Voigt on deck, and if he can get up to the plate, then it should be Colby Turner. I'm seeing him with his helmet on and bat in hand. You just never know with Tracy Smith what he will do with these lineup changes. 2-2, 2 outs. Jonathan Kim at the plate. Ball is spiked in the dirt for ball number 3. Full count to Kim, so that will mean Matt Spear will run on first base with 2 outs.
It's been an uncomfortable inning for DeRossi. Got a couple quick outs, but facing full count against Kim.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 3-2 count, 2 out. Kim skies one into left center field. That is being playable by Evan Smith at the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. That one looked like it had some heat on it, but Evan Smith is able to track that one down, and it is a clean inning for Eli DeRossi despite the 2 pinch hitters. Wolverines still lead 3-1. We enter the 8th inning. Kurt Barr back on the mound. He has been rock solid so far. Let's see how long he can go. Stay right there. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Kurt Barr back on the mound for an 8th inning of work. Will Rogers in the pen, just starting to slowly warm up, the setup / closer on this Michigan team. But right now it's Kurt's game to finish. So Wolverines trying to use as little amount of arms as possible, trying to take the second game of the series here against Mount St. Mary's. Evan Smith, the center fielder, making some good fielding plays up the plate now. First pitch he sees is a 75-mile-an-hour curveball for strike number 1. Kurt Barr up to 90 pitches on the day. So again, we'll see how long that leash is. We're seeing Will Rogers doing some long throws in the bullpen. Nothing too crazy yet. Second pitch by Barr just outside for ball number 1, an 88-mile-an-hour fastball.
Smith struck out looking his first time up, and it was a first pitch base hit his second time, so curious to see what he'll do this time.
Definitely at that. 1-1 to Smith. Smith grounds one foul down the first base line, handing off the padding, foul. He said 1 for 2 on the day with the strikeout and the single in the 5th inning, but with only 5 hits as a team and a few double plays, a few strikeouts, it's only his 3rd plate appearance heading into the 8th inning. 1-2 count to him. Here's the payoff pitch by Barr. And the curveball is just a little high. That pitch has been so good for Barr all day, and you can see it in the arm slot that he kind of winds back a little bit more, trying to get over the top for the 12-6. That time just a little too high on the 76-mile-an-hour tumbler. Here's the 2-2. And strike 3, fastball dotted the corner. Kurt Barr has another strikeout, adding to his total. It'll be 1 out here at the top of the 8th inning.
Second strikeout for Smith, both looking.
Sixth strikeout for Kurt Barr. Ty Frito, the leadoff man, up to the plate. First pitch to Frito, high and outside for ball 1. Frito 1 for 3 on the day. Mentioned that. The 1-0 fouled off and back, and Sean Choi just let me know the double was a big reason for that 1 for 3 day so far for Ty Frito, the sophomore 3rd baseman. Wolverines been putting on the heavy shift on him all day long so far. Once again here in the 4th plate appearance, Frito swinging and miss for strike number 2. Ground out in the 1st, double in the 3rd, and put out, just kind of popped up in the 5th. Here's the 1-2 to Frito, and that breaking ball is just a little low and outside, 77-mile-an-hour. Let's call that a slur. It was a little hard to tell if that was a true 12-6 or more of a slider. Nonetheless, it had some nice wicked movement on it. Frito laying off. 2-2 to Frito. And swinging and miss, strike 3, an 81-mile-an-hour slider that time. That one had some bend on that one. And that is Kurt Barr's 7th strikeout of the day. You mentioned, Sean, early in the game, Kurt Barr hadn't had a lot of strikeouts through the first 3 innings, but so far he's been piling them on.
Yeah, early on just working, not really working counts, just trying to get quick contact, quick outs. But now that he knows that the game is his, he's getting late in the game, he'll get bullpen support, extra run with the home run.
Nick Fleming swings at the first pitch he sees, ground ball to Joe Longo, and Kurt Barr is through 8 innings, 99 pitches exactly, only giving up 5 hits, 1 run. And the Wolverines maintain a 3-1 lead as we enter the bottom of the 8th. We'll see what the Wolverines decide to do in the 9th, but first they have the opportunity to pile some more runs on. Stay right there. This game's coming to a close, but we got a close one here, folks, in Ann Arbor. For Sean, my name is Jake. Stay right there. We'll be right back listening to WCBN Sports. Eli DeRossi out there for a second inning of work, posting a 0 his last time up on the mound. And he'll now face the middle of the Wolverine lineup, Mitch Voigt, the second baseman, 0 for 3 on the day. But so far, we all know what Mitch Voigt is capable of. Any second he puts his bat on the ball, it's capable of making some big things happening.
Sacrifice fly, first time, hasn't been able to get a base hit the last 2 times up. Trying to lead off on base, leads the team in 10 stolen bases, just wants to get on to help the middle of the order.
Mitch Voigt has had the opportunity to have runners on the first 3 times he's up at the plate. This time, no runners on, but that is honestly when he's usually the most dangerous, just given no pressure and seeing where he can put the ball in play. Outfield shaded a little bit to the left, infield playing right up the middle. Facing a new pitcher as well in DeRossi. First pitch to him, big swing and a miss on the 87-mile-an-hour fastball for strike number 1. Thank you for the correction, Sean. It's 0 for 2 on the day with the sac fly, notching the first RBI of the game. Here's the 0-1 to Voigt. High breaking ball for ball number 1.
Even despite without a base hit, he's shown great defense, notching some double plays and great defensive performance overall.
373 average. Here's the 1-1 to Voigt, and Voigt just skies one really high. Looks to be playable for the first baseman, Bryce Rudisil, and he makes the sliding play right in front of his own dugout for out number 1. Nice play there by Rudisil, tracking that one down in the sunlight. And Mitch Voigt will go down for a 3rd time, really a 4th time today, 3rd time officially, as Colby Turner steps up to the plate. And Sean, if everybody's listening, last time you'll know what happened, but take me through what happened last time Colby Turner went up to the plate.
So Colby Turner just gets a quick 1-0 count. He's sitting.
First pitch outside.
He's sitting on one pitch he likes with the advantage. If he doesn't get it, he'll cut or just take it, but just pulls one into left field. Flew out to center both times, just gets a little bit more bat on the ball.
Second pitch to Turner, big swing and a miss for strike number 1. Perfect description of that, Sean. Again, Colby Turner, big home run. His last time up in the 6th inning. A solo shot over the left field wall, boosting the Wolverines' lead as he grounds one up the middle, playable for the shortstop Book. He's going to have to make a tough throw on that one, and they have a nice pick there by Rudisil at first for out number 2.
Slow bouncer to the shortstop. Wasn't an easy play, but had enough arm to get it off in time, and a great pick by the first baseman to get the out.
Bryce Rudisil having to go backhand there. Nice play on the throw by Nolan Book. Again, shifting to his left. Just able to make a good throw on time, getting Colby Turner. So 2 out here. Cole Caruso up to the plate. Caruso reaching base all 3 times he's stood up to the plate today on a single that scored him in the 2nd, and then 2 walks in the 4th and the 6th. First pitch to him is low for ball number 1.
If you remember, last time up in the 6th inning, got on base with a walk, but was picked off by the lefty. With a righty on the mound, he might not have to worry about that as much.
Definitely right about that. A very nasty pickoff move they got Cole Caruso. Didn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but next pitch of Caruso skies one into left field, and the line out will be made there by the left fielder, Jake Maskey, for out number 3. So despite some contact, Eli DeRossi's threw 2 clean innings, and the Wolverines will head to the top of the 9th. One more half inning to put away the Mount, and the closer / setup man will come into the game. We'll have all that with you in just a second. Stay right there. You're listening to WCBN Sports. The two-way player, Will Rogers, will step onto the mound and try to complete the game that Kurt Barr has set up for him. Again, Barr going 8 innings, 99 pitches, just giving up 5 hits and 1 run. And Will Rogers, the two-way player, he plays catcher, he plays third, he plays outfield, and he pitches. And he's really been a consistent closer for this Michigan team all season long. Will try to get the save once again. Sean, what can you tell me about Will Rogers?
So Will Rogers, 33 innings, 4.64 ERA. Not a huge strikeout guy, but tries to limit the walks and the hits. Last time up against Oakland, got the win in relief in the 9th, giving up a run. Just hoping that he can limit the damage here with 3, 4, 5 coming up.
Yeah, the 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Mount, but as you said, Will Rogers has been very used to being in this role for the Wolverines all season long. Originally coming over from Michigan State after 2 seasons of play there for the Spartans, and he has been a very big piece for this Michigan team these last 2 years. In the field, it'll be Matt Spear at catcher, Joe Longo, Mitch Voigt, Benny Casillas, Cole Caruso in the infield with Colby Turner, Greg Pace Jr., and Jonathan Kim in the outfield. Again, 3 outs, and the Wolverines will take this game as Sam Grube, the second baseman, up to the plate. Lefty-righty matchup for Grube. First pitch for Rogers is in there for strike number 1, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Grube 0 for 3 on the day, looking to pick up his first hit. Second pitch to him is in the dirt for ball number 1.
Got to make sure that Will Rogers gets 3, 4, and 5 out first, because Zeppieri, the home run power threat in the 6th hole, will get a chance if anyone reaches.
Definitely. Here's the 1-1 to Grube. And that's bouncer right to Mitch Voigt at second base. Easy play to Joe Longo at first for out number 1. Will Rogers cleanly threw a batter here in the 9th inning. Good piece of pitching there for Rogers. Nice 91-mile-an-hour fastball to force the weak contact to Mitch Voigt. Nolan Book, the freshman shortstop, up to the plate, also 0 for 3 on the day. 2 groundouts to the first baseman, Joe Longo, with a fly out to the outfield in the 6th. Here's the first pitch to him. That's outside for ball number 1. Wolverines lead 3-1, top of the 9th inning. 1 out here, Will Rogers on the mound. Here's the 1-0 to Book. And that goes right down the middle for strike number 1, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Wolverines have not had a true closer in a number of years. Will Rogers assumed that role this year as a big swing and a miss by Book for strike number 2, 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And quickly, Book is in protection mode.
Just making the batters work, not letting them get comfortable in the box, not giving them any advantage.
Payoff pitch by Rogers, and that's in the dirt. Nice stop there by Matt Spear behind the dish. 2-2 is the count to Book.
Looks like we have a substitution for the next batter. Meyer going to be hitting after this on deck.
Get to him in just a second, the right fielder. First, the 2-2 count to Nolan Book. Here's the pitch, and just outside, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, so just ticking up and up and up in mile per hour. That one just missing the strike zone. Full count to Nolan Book, the freshman. Again, Book, despite being 0 for 3 on the day, a .310 average, not shy for swinging that bat. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's fouled off out of play. 93-mile-an-hour. Haven't really seen much breaking stuff yet from Will Rogers. Just pure heat so far to these first 2 hitters he's facing.
Knowing he only has to go exactly 1 inning to end the game, just throwing his best stuff out there.
Full count. Here's the payoff. And that one skied into right field. Jonathan Kim tracking it all the way into foul territory for the out. Out number 2 is Jonathan Kim. Jonathan Kim went a long way, running all the way to the foul line, making the play for out number 2. Again, the defensive substitution, Jonathan Kim coming in for A.J. Roush in right field, and that is what he can do. 2 outs here as Evan Meyer, the sophomore right fielder, will come up to the plate. But first, head coach Tracy Smith will have a talk with his closer.
Evan Meyer batting .282 on the season will be in a pinch hit role, righty on righty. Jonathan Kim on that last play. Great route, great speed. Hat fell off about 75.
Crowd getting into it now. Evan Meyer stepping up to the plate. Interesting to see with the pinch hitter. It's actually not going with the lefty-righty matchup. Meyer is a righty, as well as Will Rogers. Sophomore right fielder, that .282 average you just said, Sean. So first take a second. Big plate appearance here. Will Rogers through 2 batters. Top of the 9th, 2 outs. First pitch to Meyer is right up the middle for a base hit. Evan Meyer doing his job, keeping the game alive.
Got a base hit in the last game against Michigan. A pinch hitter loves to swing first pitch and just sends one right through the middle. That puts the tying run at home plate. Zeppieri, again, the home run threat.
Just going to say that myself, Sean. Couldn't have said it better myself. Mateo Zeppieri, senior left fielder, 0 for 3 on the day, but he has that home run pop. 11 home runs, 35 RBIs, 10 doubles with a .286 average. And Meyer is on first. Will Rogers, big pitch here. First pitch to Zeppieri. Bends just 2 inside. A 71-mile-an-hour curveball is a little inside for ball number 1, getting some boos from the crowd. Big chance here for Zeppieri. Even bigger chance for Will Rogers. Much different situation than we were at yesterday. Here's the 1-0. Zeppieri skies one. That should be playable. Cole Caruso, the third baseman, stands under that one, and he makes the catch for out number 3. The Wolverines win the game. The ball game is over. Michigan wins 3-1 over Mount St. Mary's, continuing the win streak alive, winning its 5th game in a row, winning on the 5,000th program game. Big milestone achievement for the Michigan program, and Michigan will look for the sweep tomorrow afternoon.
Only 4 hits for Michigan in the win. Mount St. Mary with 6 and an error committed, but the walks and a huge home run in the 6th inning by Colby Turner was a big difference in this game. A big pitcher's duel, much closer than the 10-0 run rule win last time out.
Big difference indeed, but this is where games are won, Sean. I mean, yes, you can win games 10-0. You can have the power of the hitting. You can have the pitching be on stellar play, and that can be an easy win. But a game like today, when you're battling in the 9th inning, you got to use your closer. You got to use your defense. You make defensive substitutions, offense substitutions, and you also got to take consideration the opposing team making substitutions. This was a very big win for this Michigan team, and so far they're in a streak right now, winning 5 games in a row right in the middle of the season, and Tracy Smith is finding out a lot about this baseball team.
Game ball has to go to Kurt Barr, his 4th winning decision of the season. 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. 100 pitches, went very, very deep into the game. Made sure that Will Rogers only had to go through 1 frame.
Wolverines getting the 3-1 win today. We'll be back out here at Ray Fisher Stadium tomorrow. But for everyone listening, I just want to give a big congratulations to Sean Choi, my color guy, first broadcast for WCBN, and he did an amazing job. You have a lot of amazing broadcasts to come, Sean. It was an honor doing this game with you, and it was a beautiful, beautiful day in Ann Arbor, Michigan to call a baseball game. For the Michigan Wolverines, for Sean Choi, for myself, I'm Jake Singer. Wolverines win 3-1. We'll see you back here tomorrow on WCBN Sports. And as always, we wish you a good night, a good afternoon, and go blue. Thank you, everyone, for listening.